I came off the road after 10 months of touring, first of all with my own band, my own tour, and then later when I joined the Eric Clapton band for a while. My friend who lives around the corner, Pete Van Hook, came round and bullied me into starting a new album. Wasn't sure that I could write anything. I didn't know if I had the energy. I started to expand on these little ideas, and before I knew it, I'd written 5 songs, and they're kind of more in the sort of pop, soul kind of area. And then there are 5 other songs which are more sort of classic, things like Rain or Shine, You Don't Know Me. I've even done a Bobby Bland song and a Brenda Lee song. I recorded all the tracks at home. All the original tracks are with my son Jack playing drums, and I'm playing quite a lot of the instruments. But we do have another level of sort of production. An old friend of ours, Richard Niles, is a fantastic string arranger, and so we use quite a lot of strings on the album, and also horns on some tracks. Richard did a fantastic job of adding to what was the rootsy kind of sound and that extra layer of sort of gloss with the strings and the horns. That was all recorded in Los Angeles, so we got a nice mixture. Well, Stepping Stone, my son Jack plays drums. I'm playing pretty much everything else in the way of guitar, bass, keyboards, vibes. Even we use quite a lot of vibes on this record. It's just a great sound. So I don't really know what I'm doing on there, but of course it's set out like a keyboard. And I started out as a drummer, so it's a kind of nice mixture of the two. So that's Jack on drums, myself playing most of the other stuff, and then string arrangements by Richard Niles. That's all that matters to me was a little tune I had going. When I was on holiday, I just put this little tune down on my phone. When I listened to it, the basis of the song was there, and it was, you know, what am I going to make it about? And coincidentally, one of my daughters is traveling around the world to some sort of exotic type places, and when I first got wind of this, I wasn't too keen on the idea, so I'm a concerned dad, but it's her life and she's got to do what she's got to do. So, but as long as she's okay, that's all that matters to me. 1 in a Million, I think I'm playing basically the basic track on that. I mean, even the drums, because as I say, I did start out as a drummer originally, very kind of Motown influenced, and great strings again by Richard. You know, he really caught the flavor. Give your hand to me, and then you say. Well, You Don't Know Me is the first song that I started to record just for fun, just to get the ball rolling. I pretty much play everything on that again. I know the song by Ray Charles. It's just one of those songs that I was walking around for a couple of months singing all the time, and I thought, well, I might as well record it. If Loving You Is Wrong, the classic version that I'm most familiar with is by Bobby Bland. And when we first started back in the 70s with Ace, we were signed to a little record company that distributed all the Bobby Bland records. So we would raid the cupboard down at the record label, and we had all these Bobby Bland records. And If Loving You Is Wrong has always been a real favorite. This version is pretty low key. I found that the higher I took the key, it came across a bit too sort of powerful, but too much rock and roll. But my version's pretty cool, and again, great strings by Richard Niles. Drum in on the Time Waits for No One is one of the original songs on the album, and features my son Jack and Jeremy Meek on bass from my touring band. One of the first songs that I wrote for the album, actually, and with me it's always a musical idea. It's just this little musical guitar riff. That's where I started out, and expanded the idea, and it's true, Time Waits for No One. Hard Times is a Ray Charles song. This is one of the more sort of classic sounding tracks on the album, and we enlisted a couple of great players from London. Ian Thomas is on drums, Steve Pearce on upright bass, and Jim Watson plays piano on that. I'm Losing You is a song that I'm familiar with as a kid, growing up in the 50s. All my cousins were great fans of an artist called Brenda Lee. A Little Miss Dynamite, she was called back then. But she did a lot of rock and roll stuff, and this is just a great ballad, and it always reminded me of you know, the parties we had at Christmas, jiving around the radiogram, you know, and all that. So it's just a beautiful ballad. Ian Thomas on drums, Steve Pearce on upright bass, and I'm playing all the other stuff. Life's Too Short was the last track on the album. We needed one more track, and preferably up-tempo. And I just had a little list of a few titles, and Life's Too Short, I thought, right, I'll write a song about that. And so it's pretty straightforward little tune. Again, my son Jack plays drums, and as far as I recall, I think I'm playing the rest. Sunny. Well, Come Rain or Come Shine was one of the songs that I sang when I was part of the Eric Clapton band on tour earlier in the year, but that was quite a bluesy kind of version. The version we've gone for on this album is a little bit more of a nod in the direction of the Ray Charles version, which had such an incredible arrangement by Quincy Jones. That's the sort of direction we went in, and again, it's Ian Thomas on drums, Steve Pearce plays bass, and Jim Watson plays piano. I'm playing organ and guitar and vibes. Well, one thing I did enjoy about the album, as I said, we did 10 months on the road. Normally I would come off the road and take a break, and you get all kind of relaxed. But in this case, I came straight off the road and went straight into making a record, and I still feel that I had, you know, my chops were in good order. So I'm really pleased with the vocal performances. I would say they're probably the best vocal performances I've got on record. So, you know, I hope people will enjoy it. I know that people who like what I do are gonna enjoy it, and the feedback we've had already has been great. So hopefully we'll win a few more friends over. As I say, I'm pretty proud of the album, so we just hope it does well and people keep coming to see us play live. Hope all you guys at Amazon enjoy the record.